Hello boys and girls, it's Pastor Janet back with you at Story Time. And today we're going to read one of my most favorite stories. Some of you may have heard it before, but it's a favorite, so it's worth telling again. We are reading from Does God Have a Big Toe? Stories about stories in the Bible by Marc Gellman and Oscar DeMeo. And before we read this story, we really should know about the biblical story that they're talking about. You can find it in your children's Bibles, or maybe an adult could read it to you. In Genesis, the first book of the Bible, chapter 12, verses 1 through 5, 15, 5, 18, 12, and 21, 1 through 6. It's the story of Abraham and Sarah. One day, God spoke to Abraham. God said, "Leave your country and your people and your father's house and go to a land that I will show you. I will make a great nation for you there, and I will bless you." Adam obeyed, and obeyed God and set out for the land of Canaan. He took his wife, Sarah, and all their possessions. Abraham and Sarah had been unable to have children. One day, God appeared to Abraham and said, "Look up at the skies and count the stars. That is how many children you will have." Sarah laughed because she thought she was too old to have a baby. But just as God promised, she gave birth to a baby boy when Abraham was 100 years old. Abraham and Sarah named the baby Isaac, which means laughter. Sarah was so happy. She said, "God has made me laugh, and everyone who hears about Isaac's birth will laugh with me." So let us hear what Marc Gellman has to say about Abraham. It's called Finding the Right Man. Now, most people do not realize it, but God put in calls to other people before finally putting a call into Abram. First, God called Eber and said, "Eber, leave your country and your neighbors and your family and go to a land I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you, and make your name great, and you will be a blessing, and all who bless you will be blessed, and all who curse you will be cursed. And through you all the nations of the earth shall be blessed." And Eber said, "Who are you?" And God said, "God." And Eber said, "God of what?" And God said, "The God of everything." And Eber said, "Don't be ridiculous. There is no God of everything. There is a God of the sun, and a God of the moon, and a God of the night, and a God of the day, a God of the mountains, a God of the valleys, a God of the forests, and a God of the deserts." If you ask me, you're a little late. Everything already has a God. And there is no God of everything. Maybe if you look hard, you can find something that doesn't already have a God. As a matter of fact, I think there is no God of frogs. Why don't you go check that out? Then we can talk, because there is no God of everything. But Eber and God never talked again. The next person God called was Peleg. God said, "Peleg, leave your country and your neighbors and your family and go to a land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation. And I will bless you and make your name great. And you will be a blessing. And all who bless you will be blessed. And all who curse you will be cursed. And through you all the nations of the earth shall be blessed." And Peleg said, "Who are you?" And God said, God. And Peleg said, "Where are you?" And God said, "I am everywhere." And Peleg said, "If you are everywhere, where do they put a statue so people can bow down to you?" And God said, "I am invisible, and no one can make a statue of me." And Peleg rolled on the ground with laughter. Now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You are the invisible God of everywhere, with no, and everything, with no statue. And you want me to leave my home and follow you to a place you will show me? Do you think I'm crazy? Now look, why don't you go to a good idol maker and have a nice sculpture made of your image, and then we can find a nice place to put it down where people can bow to it, and then we can talk. But God and Peleg never talked again. Then God went to Sherag and said, "Sherag, leave your country and your neighbors and your family and go to a land that I will show you. And I will make of you a great nation. And I will bless you and make your name great. And you will be a blessing. And all who bless you will be blessed. And all who curse you will be cursed. And through you all the nations of the earth shall be blessed." And Sherag said, "Who are you?" And God said, "God." And Sherag said, "What will you give me?" And God said, "I just told you." And Sherag said, "You don't understand. I'm not interested in moving anywhere or doing anything just so that my great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren will be a great nation. I want to know what is in this deal for me right now. Maybe if you showered me with some of those blessings right up front, I might be convinced. How about giving me all the money in the world and the kingship of all the lands? What do you say?" But God said nothing. Then Sherag said, all right, let's be reasonable. I will go wherever you want for most of the money in the world and the kingship of the 5 largest countries. How about that?" But God said nothing. And this was the last Sherag ever heard from God. By that time, God was not sure about finding the right man. But God went to Abram and said, "Abram, leave your country and your neighbors and your family and go to a land I will show you. And I will make you a great nation. And I will bless you and make your name great, and you will be a blessing. And all who bless you will be blessed, and all who curse you will be cursed. And through you all the nations of the earth shall be blessed." And Abraham said, "I will go, but there's just one thing I want." God asked what that one thing was, and Abram answered, "I want to take my family with me." God asked him, "That's it? You just want your family to come with you? You don't want to see me?" Abram said, "No." And God asked, "You don't want to bow down to a statue of me?" And Abram said, "No." And God asked Abram, "Don't you want anything for yourself?" And Abram said, "No." Right then, God decided to not ask any more questions. And God let Abram gather his family and pack their things for the journey to the place that God would show them. And right then, God knew that the right man was going to the right place at the right time for the right reasons. God also knew that such things hardly ever happen. That's the end of our story for today, and I hope that you enjoyed it and will look at it in your own Bible at home. See you next week. God bless you.